وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا الله مخلصين له الدين حنفاء ويقيموا الصلاة ويؤتوا الزكاة وذلك الدين القيم. إن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين في نار جهنم خالدين فيها أولئك هم شر البرية. الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وأولئك هم خير البرية جزاؤهم عند ربهم جنات عدن تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه ذلك لمن خشي ربه. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات. محمد عجل فرجهم ولعن أهلك أعدائهم من الأولين والآخرين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إني أسألك برحمتك التي وسعت كل شيء وبقوتك التي قهرت بها كل شيء وخضع لها كل شيء وذل لها كل شيء وبجبروتك التي غلبت بها كل شيء وبعزتك التي لا يقوم لها شيء وبعظمتك التي ملأت كل شيء وبسلطانك الذي على كل شيء وبوجهك الباغي بعد فناء كل شيء وبأسمائك التي ملأت أركان كل شيء وبعلمك الذي أحاط بكل شيء وبنور وجهك الذي أضاء له كل شيء يا نور يا قدوس يا أول الأولين ويا آخر الآخرين. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تهتك الأسام. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل النقام. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تغير النعام. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تحبس الدعاء. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل البلاء. اللهم اغفر لي كل ذنب أذنبته وكل خطيئة أخطأتها. اللهم إني أتقرب إليك بذكرك واستشفع بك إلى نفسك وأسألك بجودك أن تدنيني من قربك وأن توزعني شكرك وأن تلهمني ذكرك. اللهم إني أسألك سؤال خادم متذلل خاشع أن تسامحني وترحمني وتجعلني بغسمك راضيا قانعا وفي جميع الأحوال متواضعا. اللهم أسألك سؤال من اشتدت فاغته وأنزل بك عند الشدائد حاجته وعظم فيما عندك رغبته. اللهم عظم سلطانك وعلى مكانك وخفي مكرك وظهر أمرك وغلب قهرك وجرت قدرتك ولا يمكن الفرار من حكومتك. اللهم لا أجد لذنوبي غافرا ولا لقبائحي ساترا ولا لشيء من عملي القبيح بالحسن مبدلا غيرك. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك وبحمدك ظلمت نفسي وتجرأت بجهلي وسكنت إلى قديم ذكرك لي ومنك علي. اللهم مولاي كم من قبيح سترته وكم من فادح من البلاء أقلته وكم من عثار وقيته وكم من مكروه دفعته وكم من ثناء جميل لست أهلا له نشرته اللهم عظم بلائي وأفرط بي سوء حالي وقصرت بي أعمالي وقعدت بي أغلالي وحبسني عن نفعي بعد أملي وخدعتني الدنيا بغرورها ونفسي بجنايتها ومطالي يا سيدي فأسألك بعزتك أن لا يحجب عنك دعائي سوء عملي وفعالي ولا تفضحني بخفي ما اطلعت عليه من سري ولا تعاجلني بالعقوبة على ما عملته في خلواتي من سوء فعلي وإساءتي ودوام تفريطي وجهالتي وكثرة شهواتي وغفلتي وكن اللهم بعزتك لي في كل الأحوال رؤوفا وعلي في جميع الأمور عطوفا إلهي يا ربي من لي غيرك أسأله كشف ضري والنذر في أمري إلهي ومولاي أجريت علي حكما اتبعت فيه هوى نفسي ولم أحترس فيه من تزيين عدوي فغرني بما أهوى وأسعده على ذلك القضاء فتجاوزت بما جرى علي من ذلك بعد حدودك وخالفت بعد أوامرك فلك الحمد علي في جميع ذلك ولا حجة لي فيما جرى علي فيه قضاؤك وألزمني حكمك وبلاؤك وقد أتيتك يا إلهي بعد تقصيري وإسرافي على نفسي معتذرا نادما منكسرا مستقيلا مستغفرا منيبا مقرا مذعنا معترفا لا أجد مفرا مما كان مني ولا مفزعا أتوجه إليه في أمري غير قبولك عذري وإدخالك إياي في سعة رحمتك اللهم فاقبل عذري وارحم شدة ضري وفكني من شت وصاغي. يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني ورقة جلدي ودقة عظمي. يا من بدأ خلقي وذكري وتربيتي وبري وتغذيتي، هبني لابتداء كرمك وصالف برك بي. يا إلهي يا سيدي يا ربي، أتراك يا معذبي بنارك بعد توحيدك وبعد من طغى عليه قلبي من معرفتك ولهج به لساني من ذكرك واعتقده ضميري من حبك وبعد صدق اعترافي ودعائي خاضع لربوبيتك. هيات أنت أكرم من أن تذيع من ربيته أو تبعد من أدنيته أو تشرد من آويته أو تسلم إلى البلاء من كفيته ورحمته. وليت شعري يا سيدي يا إلهي يا مولاي، أتسلط النار على وجوه خرت لعظمتك ساجدة وعلى ألسن نطقت بتوحيدك صادقة وبشكرك مادحة وعلى قلوب اعترفت بإلهيتك محققة وعلى ضمائر حوت من العلم بك حتى صارت خاشعة وعلى جوارح سعت إلى أوطان تعبدك طائعة وأشارت باستغفارك مذعنة. ما هكذا الظن بك ولا أخبرنا بفضلك عنك يا كريم يا رب. وأنت تعلم ضعفي عن قليل من بلاء الدنيا عقوباتها وما يجري فيها من المكاره على أهلها، على أن ذلك بلاء ومكروه قليل مكثور يسير بقاؤه قصير مدته. فكيف احتمالي لبلاء الآخرة وجليل وقوع المكاره فيها وهو بلاء تطول مدته ويدوم مقامه ولا يخفف عن أهله لأنه لا يكون إلا عن غضبك وانتقامك وسخطك، وهذا ما لا تقوم له السماوات والأرض. يا سيدي فكيف لي وأنا عبدك الضعيف الذليل الحقير المسكين المستكين. يا إلهي وربي وسيدي ومولاي، لأي الأمور إليك أشكو، ولما منها أذج وأبكى، لأليم العذاب وشدته أم طول البلاء ومدته. فلئن سيرتني للعقوبات مع أعدائك، وجمعت بيني وبين أهل بلائك، وفرقت بيني وبين أحبائك وأوليائك، فهبني يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وربي. صبرت على عذابك، فكيف أصبر على فراقك؟ وهبني صبرت على حر نارك، فكيف أصبر عن النظر إلى كرامتك؟ أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجائي عفوك؟ فبعزتك يا سيدي ومولاي أقسم صادقا، لئن تركتني ناطقا لأذجن إليك بين أهلها ضجيج العاملين، ولا صرخن إليك صراخ المستصرخين، ولا أبكين عليك بكاء الفاقدين، ولا أنادينك أين كنت يا ولي المؤمنين، يا غاية آمال العارفين، يا غياث المستغيثين، يا حبيب قلوب الصادقين، ويا إله العالمين. أفتراك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلم سجن فيها بمخالفته، وضاغت عن عذابها بمعصيته، وحبس بين أطباقها بجرمه وجريرته، وهو يضج إليك ضجيج معملا رحمتك، ويناديك بلسان أهل توحيدك، ويتوسل إليك بربوبيتك. يا مولاي فكيف يبغي في العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمك؟ أم كيف تؤلمه النار وهو يأمل فضلك ورحمتك؟ أم كيف يحرقه لهيبها وأنت تسمع صوته وترى مكانه؟ أم كيف يشتمل عليه زفيرها وأنت تعلم ضعفه؟ أم كيف يتغلغل بين أطباقها وأنت تعلم صدقه؟ أم كيف تزجره زبانيتها وهو يناديك يا ربه؟ أم كيف يرجو فضلك في عتقه منها فتتركه فيها؟ هيهات ما ذلك الظن بك ولا المعروف من فضلك ولا مشبه لما عملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك. فباليقين أقطع لولا ما حكمت به من تعذيب جاحديك وقضيت به من إخلاد معانديك لجعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما وما كان لأحد فيها مقرا ولا مقاما، لكنك تقدست أسماؤك أقسمت أن تملأها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين، وأنت جل ثناؤك قلت مبتدأ وتطولت بالإنعام متكرما. أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستوون. إلهي وسيدي فأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها وبالقضية التي حكمتها وغلبت من عليه جريتها أن تهب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمته وكل ذنب أذنبته وكل قبيح أسررته وكل جهل عملته كتمته أو علنته أخفيته أو أظهرته وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جوارحي، وكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم، وبرحمتك أخفيته وبفضلك سترته، وأن توفر حظي من كل خير أنزلته أو إحسان فضلته أو بر نشرته أو رزق بسطته أو ذنب تغفره أو خطأ تستره. يا رب يا رب يا رب يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي ومالك رقي، يا من بيده ناصيتي، يا عليما بذري ومسكنتي، يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي، يا رب يا رب يا رب يا أسألك بحقك وقدسك وأعظم صفاتك وأسمائك أن تجعل أوقاتي من الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورة وبخدمتك موصولة، وأعمالي عندك مقبولة، حتى تكون أعمالي وأورادي كلها وردا واحدا، وحالي في خدمتك سرمدا. يا سيدي يا من عليه معولي، يا من إليه شكوت أحوالي، يا رب يا رب يا رب. قم على خدمتك جوارحي، واشدد على العزيمة جوانحي، وهب لي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في الاتصال بخدمتك، حتى أسرح إليك في ميادين السابقين، وأسرع إليك في البارزين، وأشتاق إلى غربك في المشتاقين، وأدنو منك دنو المخلصين، وأخافك مخافة الموقنين، وأجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين. اللهم ومن أرادني بسوء فأرده، ومن كادني فكده، واجعلني من أحسن عبيدك نسيبا عندك، وأقربهم منزلة منك، وأخصهم زلفة لديك، فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك. وجد لي بجودك، وعطف علي بمجدك، واحفظني برحمتك، واجعل لساني بذكرك لهجا، وقلبي بحبك متيما. ومن علي بحسن إجابتك، وأغني عثرتي، واغفر زلتي، فإنك قضيت على عبادك بعبادتك، وأمرتهم بدعائك، وذمنت لهم الإجابة. فإليك يا رب نسبت وجهي، وإليك يا رب مددت يدي، فبعزتك استجب لي دعائي، وبلغني مناي، ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي، واكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي. يا سريع الرضا، يا سريع اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء، فإنك فعال لما تشاء. يا من اسمه دواء، وذكره شفاء، وطاعته غنى، ارحم من رأس ماله الرجاء، وصلاحه البكاء. يا سابغ النعم، يا دافع النقم، يا نور المستوحشين في الظلام، يا عالما لا يعلم. صل على محمد وآل محمد، وافعل بي ما أنت أهله. وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله، وسلم تسليما كثيرا.
Hello. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وبه نستعين وهو خير المعين. ثم الصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين خاتم الأنبياء شفيع ذنوبنا طبيب نفوسنا حبيبنا حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل. وصلى الله على آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين المظلومين سيما بقية الله في الأرضين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم من الأولين والآخرين إلى يوم الدين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As a series of lectures on the ahkam, today we want to talk about mutahirat. So, first of all, what is mutahirat? Those who are new, they should know that it's not one-way lecture. It's a two-way. You have to get involved. Otherwise, we all sit here. Okay. So, what is mutahirat?
Comes from tahara.
Yeah, it comes from tahara, and
Pure.
eh?
Which means pure.
Pure. Okay, don't translate it right now in English because sometimes we don't have words in English to tell exactly what does it mean, right? So, but what is, because when you see a Tawzil Masail, after taqlid is a mutahirat. So, Mustafa, you want to say something? MashaAllah. Very nice. Ahsan, MashaAllah. 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 Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Ahsantum. Mutaharat, actually, those sources, those things which makes the things pak. Those are used to make pak. So what is the difference between pak and clean? Because I couldn't find a exact word for the pak, right? When something is najis, when you want to make it pak, I didn't find any proper word. It's not a spiritual. Spiritual is for me, right? But pure is like a pure means sometimes like a honey is pure, right? Pure honey means there is no mixture in there. But
Something haram can be pure.
yes, it's a good quality, eh? But it's a haram, but it's najis, but it's a pure. Najis but pure. Assalamu alaikum.
To remove the impurities.
Remove the impurities.
The tahara for something is to remove the impurity, to remove the ayn and najasa.
Cleanliness through guidance.
Yes, so that's like impurities, like removing the najasat, right? But there is no word, like a one word, single word, which can explain. So yes, so sometimes we mix it up, right? Clean, pure. So difference between the thing which is pak, which does not have any najasat, and the clean. For example, if somebody vomits here, right? So what we do, like we bring the towel paper, we clean it up. So removing that vomiting material is cleaning. But we know that it is still not clean because it has some bacteria, something. So we wash it, or we try to spray some antibacterial chemical on it so that we can make it better. In the same way, there are some najasat, and it has a different ways to remove it. Just removing is not enough, but cleaning, and there's a process. After performing that process, it becomes pak. So what are those things which can make najis thing pak? One of them is water. But there are different forms of water. Aabe jari, aabe kur, aabe baran, right? Aabe qalil, aabe kasir, right? Aabe qalil means the water which is less than the aabe kur. What is the volume of aabe kur? The kur water. Like a, yes, amount in liters. But if you see, like the old ways, like the standard way of measuring aabe kur is like a palm, 3 palms length, 3 palm breadth, and 3 palm depth. Means the volume is 3 palm cubic, right? Cube. But its volume is 22 liter something. So we have to double check, I have to double check. So it's a 22 liter. If the water gets less than 22 liters, then it is not aabe kur. For example, if you have a bucket or you have a container, it is, but when you take out the water from it, then it is not aabe kur. It is when it is less than. So aabe qalil cannot make the thing, najis thing pak, right? Aabe kasir means more than aabe kur. Aabe baran means the raining water. Aabe jari, continuous flow of the water. Sometimes we think that the water coming from the faucet, it's also aabe jari. It's not aabe jari, it's coming from the tank. So it's aabe kur. Aabe jari, could someone give the example of aabe jari? Aabe jari. There's a river, yes. And? Yeah. Like a brooks, which are coming from, right? But sometimes when you dig a well, what is that water? The water coming from out of the well. Aabe kur. Okay. Sometimes people think that it's also aabe jari. It's not aabe jari because it's not like all the time flowing. It's not doesn't make the aabe jari. So that's a water which makes. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So there's a one thing which is a water which makes najis thing pak. Another thing, Mustafa? Yeah? You know lots of stuff, mashallah. It's okay. It's okay. Anybody else? Is there, what is? Sorry? Sun. Sun is also a source which can make najis thing pak. But can sun make pak everything? For example, if the sunlight is coming from here, and if something gets najis over here, can this sun pak this carpet? No. Why? Sorry? Okay, so if you just remove the najasat and then the sunlight is coming, does it make it pak? No. Why? Because sun can only pak zameen, ground, not the carpet, not the clothes. Sometimes we have this misunderstanding, especially in Pakistani community, that if my clothes gets najis, for example, I was holding a baby or someone and my clothes get najis. So what I do, I put it in the sunlight, and when it gets dry, I think it's pak now. So, or if the sunlight is coming directly inside, but the carpet is najis, so it cannot pak. Yes, if it is like a zameen, it is a ground, it can make it pak, but there is a condition that the sunlight should be coming directly from the window, not through the glasses. So if the window is open, there is no filter, there is no stoppage there is no barrier, then if the sunlight is coming directly to the and falling on the ground, then it makes it pak. If the sunlight is coming through the window, through the glass, then it is not considered as the sunlight coming directly and making it pak. Second thing, yes, when it gets dry, so when the najis cloth or anything, when it gets dry, it does not transfer the najasa to something else. That's the only thing. But dry is not a criteria that it is pak now because dried. Right? Another thing, dust. Okay, dust.
Or sand.
Sand. So how does it make it pak?
Dries the stuff, that's right.
Okay.
Dries the bacteria, and it's in kasir, that's right.
No, for the sand is not like a kasir or kalil. Sand in the sense of
Like the amount, you mean?
no. The ground, zameen can make the pak. But zameen, this ground, earth, what stuff can become pak? Yes, Mustafa?
We can also clean it.
Yep. Yep. We can also clean, yeah. So zameen, the ground, the earth, can also a source to clean or do the like a pak of the najasat. But to anything, it can clean anything. So what can become pak?
Human body. Najasa.
So if my hand gets najis, so if I rub on the ground, it becomes pak.
Clean it and rub it, yeah.
Actually, the sole of the shoes, it can become pak. For example, but what kind of ground? This concrete parking lot can make it pak? No. That asphalt can make it pak? No. Only the pure earth, like those grass, where the grass is there, the mud or the dust over there, it can only make pak. And especially the sole, the bottom part of the shoes. For example, if you go to Arbaing in another place, you go to the washroom, you went there, but you know, like so many people, sometimes najasat there. So when you are walking on the dust, right, then it becomes pak. For the water, water can make pak if it is core water. So the pot which we use in the washroom, right, it is Abe Kalil or Abe Kur? It's Kur, but that is very small. It's not like a 3 wajb. So it's Abe Kalil, but it's coming from the faucet direct. So it's a part of the Abe Kur. And we are taking it and using it. For example, we have in the house, our houses, especially in Canada, we don't have those drainage everywhere in the like a washrooms or everywhere. So it's all like a seal, right? Or like carpets. So there is for example, if this carpet gets najis, how we are supposed to park it, how to clean it up so that it can be parked.
Try to use a machine which has some water filter running system that can pull out the jasad or any dirt or
Mm.
most of the time the food goes in this carpet especially. So pull this out.
Because it's an issue because we have kids at home, right? So young kids, and our houses are all carpeted, right? And especially those wall-to-wall carpet, you cannot move it. So it's over there. So how you can park, make it park? Yes, it's a one way, but again, how will you define this? The shampoo machine has a water enough that it's sucking and it's also using, like.
So are we supposed to mention the bare minimum amount to use?
So one thing, for example, this is a rug, right? It's a movable. It's not wall to wall. If it gets najis, so first of all, we are supposed to remove the nijasat, right? If it is a liquid, then just like absorb the nijasat with the towel paper or something. Then what do? We pour 3 times water on it, like with the glass or with the pot or anything, and then we absorb that water. But that is not only enough, because we have to press the carpet too, means squeeze the carpet. For example, if my shirt gets najis, so I'm washing it in the laundry tub, but I'm also supposed to squeeze it. When I squeeze it, then sometimes we just wash it with the detergent and we think that it's park now. Yes, najasat is removed, but it's still not park. It's not najis, but it's not park either. So if somebody touches it with the wet hand, he will not be najis because that najasat is removed. But it is also not park. At the same time, you cannot pray salat with that cloth unless you 3 times you squeeze it, like you wash it and squeeze it. In the rugs, the heavy stuff, so what we do, like we squeeze with the hand. When we put the water, so we have a tub, like a small water tub, we drop the water and then we try to squeeze it, right? 3 times, because we cannot squeeze this rug, right, with the hand. So that's the way. If it is the wall to wall, is fixed, again we remove the nijasat, we pour water 3 times and absorb it as much as we can, like one time, then we absorb it as much as we can, then the second time, then the third time. Then it becomes park. Sometimes we, again with the Pakistani community, because I have seen in our family and relatives and friends that if the carpet was najis, oh, it's dry now, it's not najis anymore. No, it's still najis. You cannot pray there unless you don't have any other place. Then only the part of the sajda should be park, and then you can pray there. But if you have a choice that you cannot pray there, it's not park. So being dry is not a criteria, right? So we have to clean it, we have to make it park. For example, sometimes sink or like a bathtub, for example, there's a blood there or something, the nijasat there, or you were washing a kid, giving shower to a kid or something. So again, if there's a najasat there, you remove the najasat, but when you are pouring the water, you have to move with the hand. You have to push the water into the drain with your hand. It's not easy. Because when you have more kids, right, one after another, then it's Assalamu alaikum. Then it gets nijasat, right?
The good thing is you get used to it then.
Yeah, it can break your back too. Right.
There's another way, say, to do tahara for a carpet like that. For example, if there's blood, you take a big bowl, empty bowl, and you put it underneath the carpet.
Underneath.
And then you take water, you pour it, and then you squeeze it
Squeeze it.
the water has to go through the
Right.
carpet, right? So because you can't squeeze it.
Yep.
So the water has to go through the carpet, in and
That's
out
right.
of the carpet to reach the top.
Yep.
But with wall to wall, it's a little bit difficult,
Yeah.
but with carpet that's able to be removed,
Right.
the water has to go through.
Right.
Then
So-
then maybe you can put a bucket at one floor below.
If you want.
If your insurance company allow you to do that,
Yeah.
otherwise it was not covered.
Allow me to go for it. Or you can cut a piece out of it.
Yes. So these are the chida masail, the bold issues, right? So again, we have a water which can be used as a source to make the najis thing pak, right? But there are ways to do it. What kind of waters? For example, in the running water like your abejari, you can wash anything over there, so it's just keep flowing. Again, if, for example, there's a water stream or the brook, and you know that the people are using that water for drinking or eating purpose, right? You cannot use it as a toilet, like you cannot go and rafa hajat, that means remove your need, right? So that's another issue. If, for example, I have a nijasa on my hand and I'm washing it from the top, so it goes down and well, sometimes we think that because it gets connected with the water, so its the upper part is also getting najis. No, when the water is going down, so that takes the najasat away. So clothes, carpet, the hard floor. Again, if it is a wooden hard floor, right? So you have to remove it and pour the water and absorb it, right? Because you cannot put the balti on it and then start wiping off. Wiper using. Sun, we discussed about the sun. The sun only can do the ground. Only the grounds can be parked with the sunlight, and that sun also coming directly on it, not through the glass or window, like a window that has a glass on it, not through the glass. Not through reflection. Yeah. It can dry, but it cannot make it park. So how do we park the kafir? If someone who is kafir is also a natural end, how do we park the kafir? So when he accepts faith, when he becomes Muslim, when he recites the kalama, shahadat, then, so you don't have to give him the shower or anything, take him to some ocean and then and if the wood is najis, how it can become pak?
3 times washing with water is good.
But you know, wood, it absorbs. So the nijasa is absorbed inside the wood.
Then drying it.
You can put it in cool water, it will become.
In cool water? The wood?
If what is above cool, you go, it soaks all the water, it becomes.
I have to check.
In one time. I know where you're going, but this is
I mean, to first clean the anal najasa, you have to tissue paper, towel paper to take that out. But in terms of the water, would would that work? Abu Qalil, just to pour on a little bit.
Abi Khalil cannot, right? But yes, this Abi Khalil is coming from the,
Yeah.
like as a Abi Kur.
Yes.
Right.
So
What about alcohol? Can alcohol become like a pak? Alcohol is najis, right? Can alcohol becomes pak?
We use antibacterial and that is all alcohol.
Sorry?
That is a debate. We use antibacterial and that is all alcohol.
That's an industrial alcohol,
Yeah.
and there's another one is a fermented, like when you ferment the fruit or anything, right? So I'm talking about the najis one, which is the fermented one, which is like a wine or beer or anything. Anybody?
You can burn it.
Oh wait, can we use sand? Is it considered water? Because water is out of the question. We can use sand, right?
Sand?
Sand.
No, the alcohol.
Oh, alcohol.
Yeah,
Okay, I was he's still in the wood.
it's a natural ion, but when it changes its condition, like the nature, it's not alcohol anymore. Means if it becomes sirka, vinegar, then it is not najis anymore.
For wood, I think you're saying if you burn the wood, then
Yeah, that's again, if the wood is burnt, then the coal is pak.
But what if we use sand just to clean it from the top? Can we do that?
You can. It's not like just like a sanding, because wood like is absorbed, right?
Okay.
Blood is najis, right? So whenever there's a blood on the cloth or any place, it is najis, right? On the cloth, on your dress, how much blood minimum? Sorry?
It's permissible.
Permissible.
Size of a coin or thumb, I think they say.
Thumb.
Few drops.
Few drops, but for example, you see some small drops there, droplets, but you gather them, and if it is bigger than your thumb, then it is najis. But it's only like a 1-2 drop, but it's very small, then it is not najis. Your cloth is not najis.
So can you remove that najasat without going through the water process for the flood? If water is not available, how would you remove that najasat from clothes or piece of cloth?
No.
there's one person. You have a small drop of blood.
Right.
It is not, it's so small that it's not najis. You put a drop of water there, it spreads, it becomes big in terms of its footprint. The same volume of blood, does it become najis?
For the water, any najis which goes into the water, there are three things.
But that blood
Yeah.
is so small, and you're
Yeah.
saying it's not najis.
Yeah.
So now in the same blood that is not najis, because the item is not najis,
Right.
I put a drop of water.
Right.
So is that drop of water now falling on the najis item or not on the najis item?
So you are saying the water is najis or not?
No, water is part.
Water is pak. Okay. So what? Sorry. Say your question again.
So I have a drop of blood,
Right.
small drop of blood.
Right.
That's on a cloth.
On a cloth.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not, it's so small, it's not najis.
Right.
As per the definition.
Right.
But then I put a drop of water, clean water,
Mhm.
on that blood. And the blood, of course, now becomes, moves, right?
Right.
And now the imprint of the blood is more than a thumb. Does that item become najis?
No.
It does not become najis.
No. It is not.
Why don't we say that like it's a less concentrated blood because it's spreading? It's blood, but it's like it's less concentrated.
How do you define that?
No. That's the thing. Is that it's not a pure blood. Then it is diluted. Then.
No, but for example, some people have blood that comes out from their body that is little bit.
Right.
But because they took a shower and the skin is wet, it kind of spreads.
Mhm.
Right on that. So you even remove your clothing, you know it's not pure blood, it's kind of spread blood with water. So how then do you determine the footprint, the imprint?
There's a difference when it comes to blood being
But he is saying that that small drop of blood, which was less than the size of the thumb, but because of the water, it spreads.
Okay, so for example, come up here, just
Yeah, please.
صلوات على محمد وآل محمد.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
So say for example, there was blood.
Please take that.
No, it's okay. Say for example, there's blood here. Okay? Can I get Kleenex? Yeah. Just so I can demonstrate.
There's a premise.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm gonna demonstrate first what the Sayyid was talking about, how removing the ayn and najasa first. So how to remove the ayn and najasa is very important. Okay? Because if we physically see it, we can understand what the Sayyid is saying and how to do the tahara properly. After Sayyid.
No,
Forgive me.
no. It's a discussion.
Yes.
It's okay.
So obviously I'm not gonna pour water on here.
It's all covered, Sheikh.
Am I covered too? So say for example there's blood here, right? Now what we don't want to do is doing this. Why? Is because we're spreading the ayn and najasa everywhere. So now instead of me just doing tahara for this part, I have to do tahara for the whole thing. So when the Sayyid was saying remove the ayn and najasat, is for example we take the tissue and then we just dab it like this. When you dab it, the ayn and najasa is being absorbed with the tissue. So now when I take the water, I go, then I dab it again with the tissue. I go, then I dab it again with the tissue. I go, then I dab it again with the tissue. Right? Because one, I've removed the ayn and najasat. Right? Even if I was to put soap and clean it out, I already did, the first thing is remove the ayn and najasa. Now after I dry it, now with soap, it's mixed water. So I still can't do this because I made the whole thing with the najis. Right? So remove the ayn and najasa by pressing onto the blood or whatever it is, or if it's urine or whatever, because even with the toilet seat, right? We tend to wipe it and then we tend to do tahara. No, the whole thing is mutanajjis now because I spread urine all over the toilet, right? So do that part of the toilet that's mutanajjis, then go like this. And usually with toilets, the water will slide right into the toilet. Also, what I have to be careful is if I'm standing this way and I'm spraying and this water jumps on me, now my jeans or my pants or my leg has become mutanajjis. Yes.
So
Questions for you. I'm running away.
No, Sheikh.
You didn't answer the question at all.
Yes.
So
what was your
his question is different.
Yes.
He is saying that, for example, there's a one small drop of blood there, right?
Yes.
But that small drop of is smaller than the thumb size.
Yes.
Right? So it's not najis.
Yes.
But what happens? The water, somebody drops the water, and
Yes.
that blood, like it spreads.
Same volume of blood. So
Same volume of.
The blood is diluted.
yes.
Yes.
So it's najis or not? So it's
Does the item become najis or does it stay hard?
The item, how much time you do tahara for it?
no.
There's no tahara.
They haven't done the taharat yet.
Look at the premise. Start with 1, 2, 3. First is something is clean.
Okay.
A small drop of blood fell on it.
Yes.
So small that it does not, according to the rule,
Yes.
does not make it najis or it can be regarded as part.
No, according to the rule, you can pray. The rule is it doesn't make it najis. Is you can pray with it. That's what we have to differentiate between the two.
Then we have to correct the situation.
No problem.
It's
Yeah.
not the situation that the item is part,
No, the situation is if you can pray with it or not.
it is okay.
Yes.
So if you say a prayer with that particular najasa being so small, prayer is okay. But the item is still najis.
Yes, but prayer is fine.
Right. So then that corrects the situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
for the same situation, if we have something that's not najis, right, on like a shirt or something, right? In the Ahkam, I think I read this somewhere that if an object is najis and you clean it with qalil, right, qalil, the water that comes when it hits that najis place, whatever it spreads out, that becomes najis,
Right.
right? But in this case, it's not najis, the blood on the cloth, right? Because it's not the amount, right? Because it's
No, look, okay. I will rephrase it. It is najis because najis is najis. Najisulan is najisulan, right? But the thing is that is this libas, this dress is permissible to pray in that libas.
Yes.
So it is, even
So-
if it's not like the thumb size, it is najis.
Yes, if it is
still,
najis.
Yeah, it's still
It is
mutanajis,
najis.
but the question is, can I pray with it or not?
Okay.
Right? So it's two different rulings here we're talking about, right? So when the uncle was saying, okay, this blood is still mutanajis, yes, he's
Yes.
right. Why? Because this is ma'qalil.
Yes.
And if I pour water on here, that water that's mixed with the blood is still ma'qalil. And anything najasa that touches ma'qalil, the whole thing is mutanajis, right? Now, when I say mutanajis, meaning it became najis.
Najis.
Right? So this became mutanajis. Now the question is, can I pray on it? The question is what? Right? If it's smaller than the thumb, then yes, I can pray with it. If not, then no, I have to go do tahara, proper tahara for the clothes, and then I can pray with it.
But if you find out later,
If you find out later on,
you're okay.
Yeah.
yes.
Your salat
but,
is okay.
But don't be like, right?
The important thing is that you have to remove the najasat first, right? When you are removing the najasat, then when you are dropping the water, pouring the water and absorbing it, it's not in like spreading the najasat, right? So you already absorbed the najasat, took out the najasat. Now you are pouring the water and absorbing it.
So Aga, what is allowed, salat is allowed with this case for?
Yeah, like if it is the smaller.
So in what sense then it is, brings najasa for what else cannot be done with wearing those clothes that have that dot of blood on it?
That's the case only for the blood, not for the urine or anything else, right?
No, but it is still najasat there, right?
Yep.
So what is discussed is that najasat is there, but praying is allowed, salat is allowed.
For the
given
blood? Yeah, for the blood.
Given the small, tiny,
Yep.
drop of
You can
nature
pray,
of that, right?
But then you have to,
Only for the blood.
yeah.
There's kids here, I don't want to explain the urine part, but this hukum is only for the blood. But because there's young kids here, there's a different hukum when it comes to urine. There's something that needs to be done. I'm not going to explain it because of the respect of the kids and the parents here. There's a specific thing, something that someone should do for the guys when they use the bathroom. Now, they don't have to do it, but they should do it. Because if anything comes after that, right, it's considered urine and they can't pray with it, and they're considered mutanajjis. With blood, it's different. With blood, if it's smaller than a thumb, you can pray it. But with urine, any dot of urine, you can't pray with it. The person is considered mutanajjis or feces.
No, that's great, thank you for that. What I
Yeah.
was to ask is that the only allowance with that tiny drop of blood on the cloth is that you can still do the salat.
Right.
Yes.
But what is not allowed to do with that?
No, the item is, let's flip the question.
Need to get the point of
item is
the difference between
and you have to do the allowance is, in that kind of najasat, you are allowed to pray. So what else are you thinking that you cannot do in najasat? So you have to bring the situation, right? Those are broken situations. You cannot say, so what else? What else are you thinking that you have to do, that you can't do in najasat, that you're asking the question about? So you fast, you can fast in najasat. Right? So for example, if you go to tawaf, I don't know about tawaf.
Yeah.
With
No,
that-
Hajj, like in the masala of Hajj, I also don't know. It's too much over there.
Yeah, so you have to bring that question and that.
So that's exactly the point I was about to come.
Oh, okay.
For example, tawaf would be one. But then
Because I'm just gonna repeat myself one more time, just for the lady's sake, because I didn't hear the rule. Have we ever heard the rule of thumb? You know, they always say the rule of thumb, right? So it's the same thing when it comes to the blood with the najasa. We call it the rule of thumb for the discussion purposes. If it's bigger than the thumb, if the blood is more than the thumb itself, then you can't pray with it. You have to do tahara, okay? Then you can pray. But if it's smaller than the thumb, then you are allowed to pray. Okay? Now, it doesn't mean that the thing itself is pak or it's tahir. It's still mutanajjis. But because of prayers in itself has different rulings, and tahara has different rulings. So we have to differentiate between the two. Are we talking about the clothes that we're praying with, or are we just talking in general that it's mutanajjis? If there's blood on my sweater, and if it's smaller than a thumb, then I can go ahead and pray with my sweater on. But if it's more than my thumb, then I can't pray with this sweater on. So I hope that's clear for the sisters, inshallah. If not, please, I don't know. Yes.
Please recite salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. No, it's okay. No, astaghfirullah. No, it's okay.
If the blood comes out of the body, for example, I'm cutting something with the knife.
Mm-hmm.
I cut my finger. Blood comes out. Maybe it's close to the size of the thumb. So is it now I have to go and
Now, here, when the blood comes out, because sometimes the blood continues to come out, right? Now, eventually it does stop. Now, when I say the blood comes out, now if I press it and then I cover my thumb, is this considered the size of my thumb? No, right? The amount of blood that comes out, does it cover this part of my thumb? Yes or no, right? So if I were to just poke myself with a needle, no way a blood will cover this much of my thumb. Unless I'm like really anemic and I bleed a lot, then probably yes. But if not, if just a normal person just pokes himself with a needle, the blood eventually will stop, right? Why? Because it will start closing right away. But if it's a big cut and the blood starts coming out, right, then yes, it will become bigger than the thumb. So what would that person have to do? They'll have to remove the ayn and najasa, stop the blood from coming out, and then start doing tahara for it, right? But again, if it's just a poke, the blood is not gonna come off for a very long time.
and the way of the taharat is just to wash it through.
Yeah, but the key rule is removing the ayn and najasa, right? And the key rule with najasa is I have to prove something is najis. I have to have proof that it became mutanajjis. So say for example, this sweater became mutanajjis. It has blood or it has urine on it, right? Now if the smell, taste, or color is not there, then it's considered tahir, right? Now let's say for example, my brother was to wear this sweater and it has blood on it, but he didn't know and he prayed on it. He prayed with this sweater. His prayers is correct because he didn't know, right? But if I told him and he still prayed on it, then his salat is batil because he knew about it. Okay, so we have to differentiate between najas and tahara, and then when it comes to the clothing or the wearing of the prayer or the person praying, right? So these are two different things that have two different rulings when it comes to these things.
And as you said that why is it for the blood? So it is because from the ahadith that our fuqaha, they come on the conclusion that it is only applies on the blood, but it does not apply on other nijasat.
Yes.
Right. Please recite salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Anything else in your mind? So that the Sheikh you were talking about istabra, right?
I didn't want to say that.
fiqhi masla.
I know, but
Actually, I see most of people are violent.
I know,
Yeah.
out of respect of,
Yeah.
out of respect of.
It's fine.
Do you wanna like? Are they listening? If they're not listening, we can do it without the mic.
Yeah.
No, I'm seeing these.
It's, I don't know, it's just, I can't.
But,
Should I talk about?
yeah, just this. Yeah, it's a lot.
I can't?
I can turn on the mics.
Okay, please. Yeah, just out of respect for them, yeah, I can't. It's,
Or you can just let them know there is a process, they can,
that's what I said, there's a process.
so,
Or if you want, like, maybe after, when we eat, we can discuss this.
Don't use the mic. Only source,
yes.
your voice is going down.
That's it, they can't hear me from the door?
No.
Whatsoever? So we can turn off this mic
If you're
too?
not shouting, your voice is going down.
So we can turn off this mic too?
Yes.